Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jan Moses here back. Wanted to go over the Season 7 content and the Friday content that we got this past week very quickly. Mostly because, well, two reasons. A, this content has been live for more than 48 hours now. And the Knicks Game 7 versus the Indiana Pacers will be tipping off in about 25 minutes. So I am on the clock. Gonna try and get this out as quickly as I can, and then maybe we'll make another YouTube video after the first Game 7 today to go over my thoughts, whether the Knicks are able to have a huge win against Indiana or if their season comes to an end today. So we shall see if I end up doing that video. Stay tuned for that. But for now, let's talk about my team, and let's talk about how we have GOAT content now in the game. A lot of people, myself included, were anticipating Invincible cards to come out, and 2K sort of skipped over Invincibles in the same way that they skipped over Dark Matters when we got our first 100 overall in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar during All-Star Weekend back in February. So I don't love GOAT cards just because I'm going to be treating these cards the same way that I've been treating 100 overall cards, in that to me they don't really exist. I mean, we're gonna see what 0.0000001% of people have this GOAT Larry Bird card. I mean, it doesn't really move me at all. I don't really care about it. The only thing that upsets me about getting GOAT content in the same way that we're getting 100 overall content is it just feels like they're putting this in the game only to make people rip packs. Like, you're not going to really see this card at all, and I just don't like that we're going to be getting content that people are not going to be able to engage with. Like, the very, very, very small minority of people are going to be able to engage with this card. The people that rip a lot of packs and get very lucky are. Besides that, you're not going to be able to use this Larry Bird card. But you are going to be able to use potentially, 5 other Larry Bird cards. I mean, there's a 100 overall Larry Bird. I actually didn't even know that we had a 100 overall Larry Bird. I thought we only had a 100 overall James Harden that came out this week as part of the Unfazed collection. But you can see here we have a Larry Bird that can play at every single position, it looks like. And then we have an Opal Larry Bird. We have 2 Opal Larry Birds. Honestly, I haven't really looked into what we got on Friday all that much. I just briefly perused the MyTeam playbook. This sucks. I mean, I would much rather 2K just put 1 Larry Bird, or you know what, if you want to make it 4 Larry Birds, if you want to make one of them a GOAT, one of them a 100 overall, one of them an Opal, and then make one of them a Dark Matter, and then instead of giving us Dark Matter Larry Birds at every position, just give us 1 Dark Matter Larry Bird and let us put him at any position that we want. You know, I just don't get why we have to get multiple Larry Birds all at different positions. It just seems like a huge waste of time, and one of the many ways that 2K has slapped their community in the face. So I'm not a huge fan of that. The Season 7 Friday content outside of the GOAT Larry Bird stuff seems to be pretty mediocre. This lock-in seems to be pretty bad. I mean, you're going to either get Scotty Barnes, Chris Paul, Paul Pierce, or Kareem. I feel like most people are going to want Kareem. I think they would have wanted Scotty Barnes if Scotty Barnes had shooting guard eligibility, but since he's only small forward and power forward eligible, he's not as exciting. And then Chris Paul, no one's going to be excited to get him. We got like 27 million point guards last season, and now you're going to give us one that's probably shorter than all of them. I mean, even Jalen Brunson is taller than Chris Paul, I think, right? Yeah, he's 6 foot flat. And then Paul Pierce, all I've heard is that his jump shot has been bad all year. I'm assuming the jump shot on this car is not going to be that much better. So that is pretty unfortunate. Now, one thing that is pretty nice that 2K did, I don't know if they show it anywhere. Maybe they don't. If not, that's totally fine. I can quickly show it to you guys. We have 1 week to enter this locker code. Oh my god, I lost the locker code. Hold on, guys. So, season. I don't think me putting in this locker code now is going to make me open the pack. Now we'll find out. Season-7-DM-MyTeam, I believe. Let's go ahead and put this locker code in. Again, we have a week, so you have until next Friday to get this locker code in. Once you do that, if you go to your unopened packs, you should see a Dark Matter option pack. This option pack includes the GOAT Steph, or not GOAT, I'm sorry. No GOAT cards in here, I wish. Bold Steph Curry, Dark Matter Tyler Hero, Dark Matter Vince Carter, Dark Matter Jimmy Butler, and Dark Matter Joel Embiid. I think Joel Embiid makes the most sense because a lot of people don't have Dark Matter centers, myself included, I believe. Right, let's take a quick peek. Yeah, I'm still running Galaxy Opal, Arvydas Sabonis, and Bill Russell. While he is the center primary by the letter of the law at 6'10", I would rather run him at the power forward spot. So I'm going to probably select Joel Embiid and run him at center. I still have to open up my pack with the Galaxy Opal Jokic or Karl Anthony Towns and pick Karl Towns. And the reason why I'm going to pick Karl Towns is because our level 40 card this season is Nikola Jokic. Now, what you see here is Jokic at the center and power forward position. That is for the base pack. If you get the base pass, if you get the pro pass, can I skip this? Am I not allowed to look at this? There we go. If you get the pro pass, if you go all the way to level 40, you're going to get the center power forward version, but I don't know if you can see it up there. Actually, maybe I can show it to you guys from the collection. If you go to collection, season 7, rewards. Is he in Pro Pass rewards? Well, if he's not, I'm not going to go too crazy here. But basically, he's point guard eligible. You guys have all seen it already. I'm not going to go out of my way to try and figure out how to show it to you guys. With a bigger picture for the card art. But yeah, Jokic being point guard eligible is tragic for the Pro Pass, but it's also kind of to be expected. We had James Harden have his release a season or two ago, or 2 seasons ago, I guess now. We already have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was our Dark Matter last year. So 2 seasons ago, we got the Galaxy Opal James Harden, and that card had his jump shot, I believe, on very quick on the premium pass versus, I think, just quick on the basic pass. So we were already starting to get some changes to animations 2 seasons ago. It only makes sense that 2K were to, ramp that up a step further, try and get as much money as they can in the final few months of NBA 2K24, and give everyone the opportunity to get Jokic at the point guard position if they spend $10 and get to level 40. So I'm not too crazy about that. I do not love that they're, kind of weaponizing the Pro Pass in that way and setting it up so that if you spend $10, you're getting what's going to be an elite point guard in Jokic. Versus if you just play the game without spending the $10, you're gonna just get him at center or power forward, which is kind of boring. Speaking of kind of boring, I'm happy that we got RJ Barrett. So this is not my transition that I wanted to make. RJ Barrett in place of Lauri Markkanen last season. I think this is a big dub, but I'm also mostly saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. When I say kind of boring, I'm referring to this J.R. Smith card, who's gonna be the new Glenn Rice for this season. Glenn Rice was not point guard eligible, but he had the best jump shot in the game. I think this J.R. Smith still has his own jump shot. And even with them making him point guard eligible, if you're grinding for, Jokic at point guard, well, then this card's kind of meaningless to you, So I don't care that he's a 6'6" point guard. I'll just run Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if I want a 6'5", 6'6" point guard. So that's kind of silly to me why they would pick J.R. Smith. Why would you pick another shooting guard and make him shorter than Glenn Rice, give him a worse jump shot than Glenn Rice? All this is going to do is make people that didn't grind for Glenn Rice more salty that they didn't. I mean, I'm not that salty because that was a huge time commitment for me to make in Season 5, and I just didn't have as much time to grind the game this past season as I did when I grinded for Hakeem back in whatever that was, Season 3, Season 4, something like that. Outside of that, I don't really know if there's anything else I really want to touch on outside of the fact that we're getting more playoff content on Tuesday. I think win or loss, I expect at least 1 or 2 more Knicks players. I don't think Jalen Brunson's going to get another upgrade. I would love to see him get a Dark Matter, but I don't think a Dark Matter Brunson would play that much differently than his Galaxy Opal Playoffs card. Hoping to see a Josh Hart or a Dante DiVincenzo. I actually fully expect to see a Dante DiVincenzo upgrade for his 36-point performance in that Game 3 loss in Indiana, because that was a tremendous game out of him. Even though, again, the Knicks did not come out on top in that game. Besides that, I don't really know if there is all that much that I really am excited about with this season. It kind of seems like a boring season. A lot of people were gassing up this season as possibly being one where 2K's apology tour, quote unquote, will start. It does not look like that so far. The locker code is nice with the Dark Matter option pack, but outside of that, this season kind of seems like a dud. Also, lastly, the mini games. Is what we have the door game now. The game that I think is the best mini game to have is finally in unlimited and in clutch time online, which I really like, because if I'm going to play online, I like having clutch time, or I like having the door mini game. The door mini game was great for clutch time offline. We had it for triple threat offline last season, which was fine because of the low difficulty in triple threat offline. We weren't really getting great rewards out of it, but I kind of like the illusion of choice that I get, at least when I have the door mini game. In place of the door mini game for triple threat offline, we're going to be getting the wheel spin for that, and we're also getting the wheel spin for clutch time offline. So both of the main offline game modes where you have a mini game following a win in those game modes results in the wheel spin, which is probably my least favorite. I'd rather have the ball drop, because at least, again, I have, in my opinion, some illusion of control. I can control where the ball will drop on that plinko board. With the door mini game, if I don't like what I have in the middle, I can go left or right and pick something else. With the wheel spin, what you get is what you get. Same kind of thing with the vault. The vault is only going to be in salary cap. So we'll see. I'm gonna probably end up getting the Pro Pass, just because I feel like it is the best investment every single season, and I mostly get it for the XP multipliers, because without those, I will not be hitting level 40 in these later seasons. Like, it took me until I think 3 or 4 days before season 6 ended last Thursday or Friday, I guess, for me to get Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So hopefully I'll do a better job managing my time on my team. And whenever I'm on the game, I'm going to try to grind. I'm going to try to grind some levels, maybe 1 or 2 levels today, while I'm watching the later game. Maybe I'll do a little bit while I'm watching the Knicks game, so that I'm not as nervous, because I'm actually not too nervous. I guess I'll end with my closing thoughts on the New York Knicks. I'll bring up my Knicks lineup really quickly for clutch time. Obviously, the New York Knicks are only going to go as far as Jalen Brunson can take them. He's the engine. He's everything for this team. But Josh Hart goes without saying. He's the heart. He's the backbone of the team. He's playing with an abdominal strain today, which is insane, because those are apparently very painful. I don't know if it actually is a strain or if it's like a hernia of some sort, but regardless, he's going to try and play. I feel like his play style is going to be really hurt with this abdominal strain. And then OG Anunoby, speaking of hurt Knicks that are going to try and give it a go, as of this recording, I believe he's going to try to play. Once this recording is over, I'm going to go look on Twitter and see if OG and or Josh Hart will play today. I'm really hoping that they both play, because today could very well be the last Knick game of the season, and you want to give it your all. We're going to have Willis Reed vibes with both of them coming out of the tunnel if they're active. We'll have to see. It's going to be really tough, man. Indiana, again, they're a really strong team. They're very young, but given the lack of depth that the Knicks have, they're one of the worst matchups that the Knicks could have had, because the Knicks are banged up, their players are fatigued, and that's why Indiana's trying to run the floor more than usual. They're picking up players 94 feet away from the basket whenever the New York Knicks are bringing the ball up the floor, just to wear them out and try and lead to all the Knicks players having dead legs by the time the fourth quarter rolls around. But hopefully that's not the case today. Hopefully the Knicks can find a way to come out with a win, because this has been honestly one of the most fun Knick teams of my lifetime. Is probably one of my favorite Knick teams, if not my favorite Knick teams, in the 2000s. I mean, maybe since like the 99-2000 season, and I wasn't really even that big of a Knicks fan at all. Like, I don't even think, like, I just follow them casually because of family, but back then I was only a Giants fan, a New York Giants fan. And so the Knicks, when they were good, I would like watch it here and there, but I can't call myself a Knicks fan from the early, like super early 2000s. So in my lifetime, I think this is the best Knicks team I've seen, and I think they're the kind of team that I think is easy to root for, because they lay it all out there, and I know I could be saying this now and then biting my tongue if OG Anunoby and Josh Hart aren't able to play later, but I really hope they can give it a go, and I really hope that the Knicks can find a way to win, because You know, whenever this team has been knocked down this season, I feel like they always find a way to, even if they can't get a win today, at least try and make it a competitive game. I think Game 7 at Madison Square Garden is going to be electric. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. We have two great Game 7s today. I think Denver, Minnesota Game 7, that's going to be a crazy fun game. I do give the edge to both home teams because I feel like that home crowd will hopefully energize both home teams. And I think, you know, Game 7s are where you're banking on your stars or superstars to come out and have a big effort and hopefully lead their teams to victories. And that's what I'm hoping for from Jalen Brunson. And I'm sure that's what Nuggets fans are hoping for from Nikola Jokic. So anyways, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this, leave a like if you enjoyed. Drop a comment. And pray for my mental health. Pray for Tony, my partner in crime here at Broth Cindy. Pray for his mental health because this Game 7 is going to be very emotionally taxing. Something is telling me that. But yeah, until next time, whenever that may be, I'll see you later.